Hey, hey, what's going on, everybody? I am just here on a Saturday, hoping my children will go to sleep for their nap. We're going to continue our aim training saga. So let's get right into it. For those of you that don't know me, my name is AG Bastrop. I am a Valorant player, dad of twins. I took a long break from video gaming once my kids were born. Now that they actually sleep pretty well again, I can get back into the swing of things here. So just been on the kick of working on my aim and trying my best to get back to not being terrible. So we're gonna get started here with some tracking. We're doing the Woohoojin Intermediate playlist for Valorant aim training. And I might not talk too much during the drills because I'm trying my best to do them reasonably well. I also may not do super well today because I got some vaccines this morning, the flu and COVID updated booster. So we'll see. We'll see. But I did just have a latte, so caffeine might help. Gotta keep my arm relaxed, try not to tense up. That's always the hardest part of this stuff, is just not tense up. Try to play fluidly. Decent start. So each task repeats 3 times, and then after every 6 tasks, you take a 2-minute break. The whole playlist takes about 30 minutes. I was pretty good about it for the entirety of summer 2023, and I honestly felt like I had some really crisp aim when I got to the end of it. So that's why I'm getting back to this. And honestly, it's one of those things where it's, as long as you do this and you run some DMs and actively work on your aim a bit, you kind of don't have to worry about the rest while you're in a match. The aim is going to take care of itself. You're making strides. You're still going to have good and bad aim days, but you don't have to worry that your aim is not going to be up to snuff at that point because you're working on it, and it'll improve in not given time. So there is something liberating about that aspect. You can just kind of let your game, basically when you're in comp, you can be like, all right, I just need to worry about the macro stuff. Now, I'm not saying that everybody can do that. If you are gold and under, you probably do need to actively focus on your mechanics and make that the primary focus for your game. If you're overly concerned with the macro gameplay and util usage and all of that, you're honestly just focusing on the wrong thing. You should be able to more or less shoot your way out of silver or lower. Because even if you develop yourself to a point that you can get to gold and your mechanics are awful, you're gonna hit a wall. And that's the problem, is there's a lot of people that end up never working on their mechanics and then they hit a complete wall because they just can't shoot. And it's all right, guys, at some point you gotta if you actually want to rank up, you do have to work on your mechanics. And it's not just oh, you're naturally talented at this. It's no, most of the people that do this have made an effort to improve their mechanics on some level. All right, next task. So, all right, I'm gonna restart that one. This task is, I like this tracking task better than the other one. Although this one is way less forgiving in a way. Tracking is not my best skill, if you can't tell. If anybody's watching any of my previous streams, it should be immediately obvious that tracking is not my greatest asset when it comes to aiming. All said, not a terrible first run. Gotta keep moving. That's honestly the hardest part, is like, you can't like let your crosshair actually get static. You gotta keep it moving. I really should set up a mouse cam for when I do this stuff. Yeah, that was way worse. That also felt way worse. Sometimes it feels bad and I like actually do better. That one was not one of those instances. This time is stay on the orb as best as we can. Stay on it. Try to keep towards the center. Center mass. Follow the movement. Center mass, 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 follow the movement. There we go. Center mass, follow the movement. Center mass, follow the movement. Keep following the movement. Keep following it. Keep following that movement, buddy. Get center mass, follow the movement. We're doing good. Just keep following the movement. There, that was a good run. Best run I've had in a while. Alrighty. So now we take a 2-minute break. Let me pull up a timer so I can keep myself honest here. And yeah, so I've been back on my aim training routine. I haven't been as... I was doing it like 5 days a week in the summer of 2023. I'm probably doing it more close to like every other day right now, which is better than nothing. But realistically, you kind of want to try to do it every day, if not like 5 out of 7 days, if you can. I was getting into like doing the Volcate community stuff, so I was trying to like go through their ranks for a while as I was doing this really regularly. So I, did it pretty regularly for about 3 months. I think I got up to platinum or a diamond in the Voltaic community. I honestly just can't remember how their ranks work. I think I was just outside of diamond, if I remember correctly. I had a few things that were like platinum or like jade grade, and then like some things that were like purely platinum grade, and I needed a couple things more to get into diamond. So yeah, but other than that, been kind of getting back in the swing of things with Valorant. My account decayed quite a bit because it was about a year since I've really played competitive in any meaningful way. So I'm going to send it one peak from episode 5. Kind of stopped caring about ranked for like a solid year. Got into like the Woohoojin community. Was mostly playing in-houses and joined the Underpeel. And then after my kids were born, just didn't play, and kind of just slowly decayed my rank over time. So having played ranked, I could probably get myself back into plat very easily. It's more just the, do I really want to push my rank as much? I don't know. I don't know if I'm motivated to do it anymore, but we'll see. But, yeah, I just kind of want to, if I'm going to play somewhat regular, I just want to feel good about my game. So I just want to like have my aim be crisp as I can get it within reason. So, but you know, I've accepted a long time ago. I'm not going to be a pro player. I'm not going to be a content creator. I'm just going to like stream occasionally. I'm going to have fun with it, and I want to play well when I play. First flicking task is always feels a little rough. I think it feels worse than it looks, honestly, generally. Because I usually watch it back and I'm like, oh, that wasn't that bad. Kind of lose a feel for like what my speed typically looks like until I've done it like one full task of it, yeah. Exploding between the targets is the key here. Under aim them a little bit, micro adjust to the final portion. It's better to under aim because then you're not having a lot of wasteful movement. Alright. Yeah, not completely awful for my first one. The actual shooting percentage was pretty low though. There we go. It already feels better. Alright, take your time, actually hit the targets. Near misses are the worst. Actually hit the targets, just take your time, line up the shot. You have more time than you think you do. Even in game. Unless you're playing a literal demon who you probably stand no chance against anyway. If I get into a game with tier 1 pros, like, I'm not gonna win it. I've actually played a couple DMs against like tier 1 pros, like 100 Thieves Bang, or well, no, Sentinels Bang, but 100 Thieves at the time, and yeah, I didn't stand a chance. Even on my best day, he was gonna lay me out. I was dying before I like had a chance to even recognize something was happening on my screen. Yeah, so a bunch of flicking tasks are the next ones up in line. And then it gets into like micro adjustment tasks. And then from there, it's like target selection, because they're like all moving targets. First one is one target at a time, so less about target selection and more just about anticipating your shot well. You need to lead the target as best you can. And then the next task has 5 targets simultaneously, so it's like finding groupings and doing your best to flick between the targets, but also not waiting for feedback that you've hit the target. You kind of have to just assume you hit the target and move on. Alright. Alright, next task. Here we go. So the targets get a little bit smaller. A little less overall flicking distances, though. So this is generally more realistic to the types of adjustments you may have to make in game in Valorant. Because, to be honest, if you're in a position where you are needing to flick 90 degrees plus on a regular basis, your positioning is probably all wrong, or you're doing things in a way that doesn't make a ton of sense. Or you're in a clutch scenario that you are going to have a very hard time winning almost in any reasonable situation. But these are the types of things where like maybe somebody comes from a different angle than you were expecting and you need to make an adjustment. And you have a chance. Not a great one. If they are pre-aiming you, you're screwed, but like... Or you should be screwed. That's a really good song. But yeah, I use a Logitech G Pro X Superlight 2. I like this mouse a lot. I had the original G Pro X, or just G Pro. And then at a point where I was like, you know what, it might be nice to have a lighter mouse, and I've actually really enjoyed transitioning to the lighter mouse. So I would recommend this mouse. It's pretty agnostic. You know, most people will be okay with it. Won't necessarily love or hate it. And I use my original G Pro now to for work. I work from home, so to use my setup for the most part. I just have like a USB switcher, and I just use different inputs on my monitor. And yeah, it's pretty much my gaming setup is my work setup for the most part, outside of the PC itself. Obviously, my gaming PC is probably a bit nicer than my, well, probably. It definitely is a bit nicer than my work PC. But my work PC is not terrible. It just doesn't have a gaming graphics card. It's got a workstation graphics card, so can't really use it for that. Not that I would anyway. Alright, so now we take another 2-minute break, and then we're on to the microflicking tasks. Yeah, so the weekend here, it's pretty nice weather. So I gotta take advantage of it while I can, although like I said, I got my vaccines earlier today, so I'm kind of expecting to feel a little bit under the weather as the weekend progresses here, just because historically I haven't always felt great after the flu and COVID vaccines. So, but with my kids being in daycare and my wife working, you know, A, I don't want to get sick, and B, I'm going to be exposed to some degree, so I might as well protect myself as best as I can. But yeah, anyway, hope everybody's having a nice weekend. I'm just going to continue on my aim training saga here. I might have to step away and try to see if I can coax my kids to sleep, because they are fighting the nap right now, but we'll get through as much of this as we can. But yeah, also, so I made myself a latte earlier. I'm really into espresso. So the thing I can't figure out, if I happen to have anybody in chat who also likes coffee, if you know how to set your base with the milk, I can't. I always white out my base, and I'm not sure how to avoid doing that, and it's making my latte art not come through. I feel like I've got a decent feel for the latte art now. Not like amazing at it, but like for the basics. And but now that like my canvas, quote unquote, is getting whited out, like I can't see it anymore, and I'm not really sure what I'm doing wrong. I probably just need to watch some YouTube videos and experiment a little bit. But I have a new espresso machine coming in like a month, and some more milk jugs, so I also might just, you know, I'll have to play around a little bit. Alright, so now we're on microflicks. I feel like I'm really far away from my monitor right now. I might be sitting too far back. I feel like I'm reaching. Might have to adjust my seat here after this run. Yeah, not my best run. Alright, we'll try again. Moved up a little bit, hopefully makes this feel a little bit better. Alright, yeah, my right arm feels way more comfortable. may not reflect in my performance, but it feels more comfortable. So yeah, clicking dots, man. So yeah, after you do the whole routine, key is just kind of running some DMs too in your game of choice, which might happen to be Valorant, and like applying some of these skills to the game itself, and working on the gunplay in the game, because generally not gonna be working with a bunch of static dots that aren't shooting back at you. But the key is in those DMs is like you're working. It's a training drill, so you want to play disciplined. You want to have good mechanics, and working on your fundamentals, right? Not necessarily trying to win the DM. You're not necessarily trying to just warm up. You want to maximize your mechanical growth. So now, like generally, if I'm playing lower elo people in those DMs, it means I'm probably going to win them because I'm playing a fundamentally sound game typically. And if I get to a place where I'm like close to winning the DM, I tend to just kind of go for it at the end there, so why not? Winning always feels good, even in DMs. Let's be real, most of the people that you meet in DM don't get to experience winning a DM very often. I feel like the win distribution for DMs is like probably like 20% of the people win like 90% of the DMs. That was slow. That was slow. Alright, this next task is like my favorite one. I don't know why I like this one so much, but it's always been like a favorite from this playlist. Yeah, so you try to make as straight of a line as you can between the targets. And you want to explode. You want to have a very high accuracy. In this particular one, I believe you're supposed to aim for like 94% plus. But you also don't necessarily... You should assume you hit the target, so you don't necessarily wait for target confirmation. So that's how you explode to the next target. Like, you should accelerate pretty fast if the targets are not anywhere near each other. Oop, my game stuttered there. But if they are near each other, then it's just like a micro adjustment. You don't necessarily need to line up your shot too much. Alright, this one's feeling like a pretty decent run. So yeah, I used to refer to doing this playlist as eating my vegetables, It was like... There's something you gotta do if you want to get good at Valorant, right? Like, there's a lot of people that have a lot of opinions about aim trainers. It definitely helps me feel better. A lot of pro players these days use aim trainers. A lot of the better pro players use aim trainers. It's like, sure, there are guys that like absolutely do not need them, but they also typically have an ungodly amount of hours in the game, Something that the average person is never going to be able to achieve. Like, you're not someone that can afford to put 10,000 hours into the game in the course of like 2 years. So you're going to maximize your results by somewhat more focused development of your skills. doing things like 30 minutes of specific aim training, and then maybe only playing 2 or 3 ranked games, and then like once a week doing some VOD reviews instead of, and maybe cutting out 1 ranked game on that day. You're gonna improve faster if you actually do things that are gonna help you realize your mistakes. Like live that moment of like, okay, I was in this round and I just legitimately hit a wall and didn't know what to do. All right, so I'm gonna attempt to get my kids to fall asleep again. So I'm gonna step away for a minute, and I'll be right back. Alrighty, sorry about that, everybody. I had to try to get them, coax them back to sleep. Their music had turned off, so I got their music back on. So hopefully that gets them to actually nap, because man, they are gonna be monsters if they don't sleep. All right, let's get back to it. Yeah, anybody that's here, I appreciate you being here. My name is AG Bassdrop. Feel free to drop a line in chat, say hello. I'll just be working on my aim training for now. Then we'll hop on the Valorant for a few minutes. Probably won't play any comp games. Doubt I'm gonna get that kind of luxury. The twins do not seem to be cooperating with their snap today, so Not my best run on that. Try again. This is one of my better tasks typically, so... Gotta lead the target a little bit. The key is if you miss, you're not supposed to like follow it and just keep clicking. Reset your aim, lead the target again a little bit. Mostly when it gets into the corner, it can get a little weird because it's hard to tell exactly where the wall collision is going to take place. Yeah, the key is you're really not supposed to track the target in this drill. This is one of those drills where the more you miss, the more heavily you get punished. So you kind of want to have a pretty high shooting percentage if you can manage it. But yeah, the more you do aim training, the more you realize there's like only so many targets you can hit in a 60-second span in each of these tasks. And like... So you want to... And you lose points for missing, so... Shooting percentage kind of matters. Your speed's going to get better over time, but like... You're going to add a handful of targets, not like dozens and dozens, unless you're incredibly poorly paced when you start. So like... You know, once you get to a decent level, you're not going to increase the amount of targets you destroy substantially outside of like PR runs and stuff, so. All right. Next task. And then this one's kind of about target selection. Oh my god. Alright, I'm going to start over because that was really bad. You again want to lead your target here, but you kind of want to like try to find groupings. So it's easier to get a lot of multi-target shots in. Like, that was a nice grouping of 3. That was another nice grouping of 3. Now, sometimes you get lucky. It's about, like, you know, where the targets spawn versus where the other targets are, which one you happen to be aiming at any given moment. But, you know, target selection is a skill. And there are moments even in a game like Valorant where you're gonna like, oh my goodness, I just saw 3 people. How do I quickly decide which one to shoot first? Now, generally speaking, if you're running into several opponents simultaneously, it likely means that your positioning wasn't great. So there's a level of, if you have decent positioning, you shouldn't be finding yourself in a situation where you're fighting tons of targets simultaneously. Now, granted, there are certain scenarios where you can't help it, like retake situations, or, you know, running into a defensive site and people are just entrenched in, like, strong angles. But that's where, like, utility comes into play, and it's like, okay, well, we need to clear out people from these powerful angles using utility, then we can kind of scale up and fight specific angles. The hard thing about me being in gold is people don't use their utility very efficiently at that rank. Not that it's like perfect, you know, in the diamond ascendant tier, but there's a little bit more reliance on your teammates at those levels, and I'm just in a position where I can't rely on my teammates at all. I have to like remind myself constantly, like, I am the key to winning these rounds. I need to prioritize my life over theirs. I need to be willing to bait them. I need to not necessarily play quote-unquote good Valorant. I need to play selfish Valorant. And that is likely the right call until I get at least up into like Diamond again. Because I am just better, and I have to have that mentality. Because realistically, I am just better in most instances. So, play for my life to be more meaningful. Be more willing to sacrifice my teammates for my own benefit. Even if they get mad at me. I will carry them to victory. That's where I need to be. Alright. And that is the end of AIM Labs for today. Awesome. Thank you for whatever these coins are. Alright. We're gonna load up Valorant here in a second. Just want to close out of Steam. Have as few things open as possible. And then we're gonna run a DM or two here. And then I might have to call it. I'm not really sure what I can do to get my kids to sleep, but they are really fighting it right now. They're not like mad, but they're just like sitting in their cribs and standing up and but yeah, I appreciate you being here. Hopefully you're having a nice weekend or a nice start to your weekend, and it continues to be a nice weekend for you. At some point, Valorant's going to boot up. Let's go Valorant. Here we go. And yeah, I don't really have any. I have to do a little bit of work because I had to make up. My kids were out of daycare, so I had to take some time off to watch them this past week. So I have to make up a little bit of work this weekend. Probably going to do that tomorrow. Then, other than that, you know, maybe watch some. Whatchamacallit? Watch some football. Although I'm an Eagles fan, so they already played, and don't know if I'll really watch too much other than that because I don't really care. It hasn't really been a year. I've been super
match found
invested. I mean, Eagles look good, but especially now that the defense is like turning it around. But I don't know. Just haven't been like super invested this year for some reason.
Deathmatch. Warm up.
It's just like something about getting that first Super Bowl, which was great. It felt great. Mm-hmm. Dude, how many people are going to spawn from that exact same spot? Alright, he just held the one angle the entire time. Same guy. I thought that first shot absolutely killed this dude.
Listen up, you
Better.
muckers.
I'm
if
better.
I don't get back up, just give me a nudge. I might not be dead.
Fight.
Just taking a wee kip. Oh shite, I lost my pet rock.
I don't. This position feels bad. Dude, come on. I hate spawning in some of this position. Dude is so slow to reswing. All right, I need a fight that I can actually have a chance on. Seriously? Okay, this guy's just backside. Cool. Okay.
Pew pew.
Okay, dude. I'm making so much noise trying to bait people into like fighting me and like just, dude. I just cleared that. Dude, come on.
I shot somebody. Have a kit.
Rough.
Hi, bye. That's 3.
Sucks to suck. I'm better. I'm better. I am just legitimately better. Sucks to suck. I am better. Did just see a guy, but unfortunate. Bro, seriously. Come on, dude, just fight me. Dude, not a single not a soul. Not a soul. Not a soul, man.
Remaining.
And I get swung from that side. Like that's just unlucky, honestly. My routing was actually pretty good there. It's just having someone actually route into me in that from that direction is like super unlucky. Come on, I'm like winning the majority of my fights here. I'm just so scared. got mine. I don't care.
Five kills remaining.
Brah. Dude, this Omen is fucking annoying because he's not like looking to fight. He's looking for people to walk into him. I'm gonna get shot in the back.
One kill remaining.
I'm just not finding fights. Not much you can do. All right, guys. I appreciate it. For anybody that stuck around, I'm going to run one more here and I'll get out of here. All right, see ya.